The last Godzilla had finally shown up, and we finally get some monster action! What's up, YouTubers of the world? MegaGeekMixer here to give you guys my review on this past week's episode of Monarch Legacy of Monsters, Episode 8, as we are just down to 2 more episodes until the season finale. And yeah, we finally got Godzilla in some action. Very brief, mind you, shortest episode of them all, but I think it was all worth it. I love how they were building to it, to when we finally got it, and to see Godzilla just coming out again. I loved how they first showed him. So we had Shaw sending out that signal there, and then they show a rift in the South Pacific Ocean and go straight in there, and then we see Godzilla lying what seems to be that same place he was in King of the Monsters, but it's more still underwater. He's there sleeping, but his eyes popping out with the song in the background. Man, that was just like some crazy beautiful stuff right there. Now mind you, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Shaw's signal did call him up, but I'm also thinking that he also came up willingly. In other words, Shaw sending out that signal, and then with Titan X giving off its migratory route, and then we finding out that she's having a baby, she's nesting off her migratory route, is also what caused Godzilla to come out there and stuff. And speaking of which and stuff, to find out that Titan X was really being the way she was being because she was building a nest, she was going to be a mother and stuff, that just made me think straight back into those Mutos and everything. It was like being deja vu of the Mutos here. Only difference being they're not in a populated area this time. They're just on the beaches of Australia where no one was around. Only Lee was planning to be there, but he wasn't expecting anyone else. That's where things got a little messy on that end. But we'll talk all about that later. I really just want to talk about how it was great to see Godzilla, not just in a dream sequence this time. Mind you, I wasn't disappointed with that, but I know many were. But even still, though, great to see him popping out of the ocean, just like always a grand entrance by that guy. The big G never fails with his entrances and stuff. Too bad, though, that with Titan X, she was already sensing the trouble there, and she just go jumping on Godzilla right then and right there. As a matter of fact, during my time with trying to work on my review and everything here, I noticed how people were saying how Godzilla's out of character and stuff with how he just attacked her so mercilessly and stuff. When you look at it, Titan X was the one who attacked him first and stuff. And yeah, they did have a brief battle there, but eventually just cut off because Titan X sees her eggs been taken away, and she's just going after that while Godzilla's following her. Now, does this mean in next episode, we know that Godzilla's still going to be following her, but it's pretty clear that she won't be following her for too long. As we saw with the trailer, her next route is no doubt back to Skull Island, which is, I'm guessing that's where the kidnappers, or egg nappers in this case, are taking the egg. He's at first going to go after her, but then maybe by her going back on her migratory route, Godzilla sees that she's back on course and not upsetting the balance anymore, that he leaves her alone, or he sees how she's going after her egg and then leaves her alone then. Because I know that some people will say Godzilla is mean for just for not wanting these animals to have babies or anything, but let's not forget that when the Mutos were having babies, they were having it in a populated area, and Godzilla was thinking that was out of balance and stuff, and he was focused on the Mutos. When it came to the nest, the humans took care of that end right there. And yeah, so I don't know why people, but you know how people are. They're a narrative society. They want to talk about some things. They even probably want to complain about some things. But in my opinion, we really got it here. Godzilla shows up in the defining way he always does. We got a brief battle with Titan X here, who looks like she held her own. She held her own there and stuff before. And what a way to dodge his atomic breath. But I don't still think that means she's strong enough to take on Godzilla. Because there are times where you'll see Godzilla does get serious and doesn't get serious. And it's kind of a middle thing on that end, though. But still great to see. Can't wait to see what comes next. But now having said that, it's time we get into these human characters, because let me just say, after seeing this, it really just shows more and more how this Randa family is in a big disarray. And I mean really big disarray. And I'm not saying it as in I'm on one side of the Randa families, I'm not on the other side of the Randa families, because in all honesty, the Randa family's really got a problem with trying to really be there for each other and stuff. Yes, Kentaro is going to the dark side and everything. He in a way went undercover for Isabel and everything, so her Apex buddies could end up kidnapping the Titan's nest and stuff. But it was shown here Kentaro is having doubts here, but since he's vulnerable due to his grieving over his dad and the anger and confusion and lostness in him, and Isabel's preying on that very much so, and just really getting her to turn against her own sister. And man, that just pissed me off when she just kept doing everything she could to push Kentaro to betray his sister and everything. And yeah, this is where I'm hoping that eventually next episode, Kate really this time talks to Kentaro, because it's clear that no one in the family has really talked to anyone here. As a matter of fact, when we finally got almost everybody over back in that Monarch ship back, you just saw the tension. None of them were really talking at all. It was just non-communication between all of them, between Kentaro, May, Kate, Keiko, Tim there. Tim there, he was like saying, okay, this is feeling intense and silent treatment. Why is that? It's just odd. How about you guys try to fix this? But heck no, none of them were trying to fix it. Kate wasn't really trying hard to talk with Kentaro. May was, but Kentaro was just putting a shield around her. Heck, Keiko wasn't even trying to bother to try to help Kentaro herself. Mostly because she was still focused on stopping Lee from calling Godzilla. And speaking of Lee and Keiko, yeah, it is sad to see their relationship going a bit of a derail as it is and stuff like that. But this is really beginning to show the thing about them is how you got two sides who are actually both right. They're not wrong. Shaw is right in the fact that Titans need to deal with Titans when things are getting out of hands here. But yeah, Keiko's right. We also got to understand them too. But the only problem is those two are in this situation of thinking my way's right, your way's wrong, which is similar to what it was with Cap and Tony back in the MCU, because they wouldn't put their ideas together and be like, no, I'm right, you're wrong. It causes problems. So I really hope those two can figure this out here, because the way they are is like they're like Sarazar, and this is where it's like saying to myself, Sarazar, where are you? Get these two to understand that they're both right and that they just need to work their ideas together here, because seriously, it's getting ridiculous and stuff. And yeah, Axe for May, I really am enjoying this relationship or slash mentorship she seems to be having with Tim here. And speaking of Tim, I haven't really spoken about that guy. He has been on fire, man. Has really stepped into this role like no other here. As a matter of fact, why don't we just get Tim to make this Randa family realize why things are the way they are, especially with this family, because y'all are too focused on the dying here. Mind you, we understand that's a big important thing there and stuff, but try to balance out to where you need to really be there for your family, because maybe if they were actually there and actually trying to comfort them and stuff, then maybe we wouldn't really be in this situation where everything's in disarray, because this is just nuts and everything. But hey, all I know is that after what Apex did, Isabel did, kidnapping Dynex's egg, with Isabel still manipulating and preying on Kentaro, I really hope that next week, which is said we are going back to Skull Island with Lee and Keiko looking for Billy's riff. And when they said riff, I'm like, are they gonna find him in Axe's Moonday or something like that? It's possible. I mean, we already are gonna get Lee and Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell's Lee Shaw characters together again in the last episode, so maybe we'll see. But All I just know is after everything that's happened, I really hope things can get better for the Randa family here, because in the sense of using the Titans need to stop Titans, but also let's understand them. Yes, they're all right here, but let's all get together here, put our ideas together so we can know the best course of action next time here. Because for some who are saying Lee was the bad guy here or Kentaro was the bad guy here, in a way, yeah, they kind of were, but not intentionally. It's like just wrong direction going on here. Because let's not forget, we're humans. This is how it works. This is how it happens to us. But all's the same. I did love the episode. Great monster action build up to it and everything. Great, good to finally have learned what Next was up to and everything. It was just trying to make its nest and everything, but unfortunately off the migratory route here and stuff. And then of course Apex, like usual, doing what they do and messing with the course of nature and causing trouble even more here. Ugh. One can only wonder what's going to happen next, guys. But I'm here for it. I really am here for it. But either way, guys, let me know what you guys thought about it. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And like always, you enjoy my videos, all you gotta do is click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified when I make more videos. And until then, MegaGeekMixer signing out. Bye!